It is Danny and the Deep Blue Sea, an Apache dance. It's spelled A-P-A-C-H-E, like the Native American tribe, but it is pronounced Apache, which is related to the French underground. This play is a dance. It is a love story. It is fierce. It is raw. It is sentimental. It is gentle. It is so many things like the dance itself, which is a violent dance, but it is a love story. This play is a love story, a different kind of love story, but it is a love story. And while the characters themselves at first appearance do not seem lovable, I find them very lovable because I am attracted to damaged people. And these are two damaged people. But underneath it, they're beautiful people to me.
Danny and the Deep Blue Sea, an Apache or Apache dance by John Patrick Shanley, is about two damaged souls that meet one evening at a dive bar in the Bronx. It's unclear what their relationship is going to be exactly, because it's very visceral and it's violent on a couple of different levels. But through the course of the play, you see how they connect and get to wonder about what they're really going to be together.
It didn't occur to me that the Apache dance was actually implicated into the play, because when I read it through as if these were just two people talking. So I didn't see these ups and downs and this really like violent dance that comes out of each one of them. And then I watched a couple different renditions of the play and how they performed it. And this was after he had told us, go on YouTube, see if you can find an Apache dance. And we looked, and it was crazy. I mean, like, people are like throwing people and they're picking them up and they're like throwing them down. And I was like, this does make sense. And so at that point, I started seeing it. I started seeing where the ups and downs could come in and how they could transition. But yeah, prior to that, did not see it. And thanks to Dennis for sure, he really showed us that. And he's taken us to different levels. It is a dance for sure.
Danny and the Deep Blue Sea, an Apache dance. I was in New Orleans for a callback for a feature, and one of my good friends brought me to this play because his friends were doing it. And I saw it, and I just seen like a slew of plays in LA, and I was like, cool. And then I went to New Orleans and saw this one, and I was like, this is what I want to see. This is so. And as far as from an acting standpoint, it's the kind of play I want to do.
I started at 38, and that surprises people. I came to this late, and I came by way of being a school teacher, being in the corporate world, being a hustler in the street, from growing up in New York City. I came to it because I have a love of people and stories. Being in New York, you get exposed to a lot of stories, and I love storytelling. So, at 38, when I made the serious jump into being an actor, I committed to this, and it has been the only thing that has driven me professionally for the last 26, 27 years.
My first impression of Dennis, he was intimidating.
Choke me. So you're like this on him, and you're like, So it's all you. He's not doing anything except he's actually following you. And I could move him. He could, now you act like you're choking me and shit, and then he'll throw me out. That's me. Okay. If I hurt myself, that's me. So don't fall. I don't want you to fall today.
When I walk in the door, he was definitely intimidating. And when I first met him, he was like, take me through this monologue. And I was like, okay. And so I start, and he's like, stop. I'm like, yes. And so he really worked this monologue that I'd had forever and changed it completely. So I knew right then that I was working with a professional and somebody that was going to shape me as an actor.
So I first met Dennis and his amazing magic directing from Tim Powell's play Man's Dominion. And I saw Man's Dominion, was just blown away. Haven't been that blown away by a play, or I guess it's a one-man short play that Tim was in. I haven't been blown away by a play like that in a long time. So I was like, man. And of course, Tim Powell's amazing. But then he introduced the director, Dennis. I always hoped that I had the opportunity to work with Dennis. Just hoped. And then when I saw this play done, and I came back to LA from New Orleans, he was the first person that I thought.
During that monologue, allow yourself
To walk away.
to walk away.
Good, okay.
All right?
Yeah.
You are free to do this stuff. I want you in to give you latitude to move.
Okay, I didn't know.
If you're not moving in, you got nowhere to move. You're going to stay rooted.
I know.
We got to get you in, we got to get you out. Okay?
I say this in all sincerity. I have been blessed to be surrounded with some really good teachers who didn't realize they were teaching necessarily. Other actors I've worked with, plays that I've done, films and TV sets that I've been on, I've paid attention to the directors, make my little mental notes. Never really thinking that I would one day start directing. That wasn't on my agenda until a year ago.
So when you move like this, when you move shit away like that, that's you. It's
Yeah.
not Danny.
Yeah.
Danny's shit is like, get the fuck out of here. It's powerful, it's explosive. That's where the exploding comes in and the way he moves, because he can't help but hit somebody.
Okay.
So root yourself, demonstrate it, powerful.
Okay.
All right?
This whole play came about because I was in class with Dennis as an actor and was watching him work with Greer, who had recently joined. She had brought Danny and the Deep Blue Sea with her, and they were going to work a scene in class. Cameron was there and read opposite her as Danny. It was clear after that first reading that something wanted to happen there. There was a great connection between the two actors and a willingness by both actors to engage with Dennis and to let him guide and direct what was happening. So it very organically seemed like it would be a play. It just wanted to be a play from the first scene that was read.
The night that they did the initial read, it was fearless. They just jumped into it. I could see that there was a chemistry there, and I felt good about them. It was going to be a teaching experience for all of us.
Why are your hands all ripped up?
I got in a fight.
And I'm mocking you.
I got in a fight, I told
Yeah,
you.
you told me. You think you killed somebody.
That's right.
Why?
Shut up.
I want to know.
What are you, a fucking social worker?
What?
Shut up, I said.
Why don't you tell me before you can't tell me no more?
You're trying to cross my line, man.
That's right, I am. I've been sitting here, staring at a mark on the wall for about 1,000 years. If I don't talk to somebody about something that means something, I'm gonna snap out. You understand?
The two actors had a great connection right away, I felt. When Dennis asked Greer, you really want to do this? Are you for real? Greer said, yeah. And Dennis said, well, now we just got to get your Danny. And then Greer looked at Cameron and it's like, I just did.
I kind of go on the assumption that even if you don't know it, you have a process. You know, some people have have studied Meisner, some have done Stanislavski, some, do Eric Morris. I mean, there's all kinds of processes. I don't care about that. The bottom line for me is, can you tell a story?
I express myself through this art. I don't really consider it's therapeutic, but it's not therapy.
What happened to your hands?
Fight.
Who'd you fight?
I don't know, some guys last night, tonight too.
2 fights?
That's right.
How come?
I don't know, guys bother me, I start swinging.
Oh, I don't get it. Did they say something to
Who
you?
the fuck asked you to get it? None of your fucking business. I lock horns with everybody.
It's about connecting with people, and I love connecting with other people, and I can do it just in my everyday life. It just seems to come naturally, and it's fun, and it's interesting to learn about other people and what they bring to the table. And with acting, that's all you're doing.
As an actor, my job is to tell a story and to tell it in such a way that you believe it, period.
In looking for the dramatic or whatever, or being tentative, we lose the power of the thought. It's a disconnect. When you drive through, we lose the power of the thought because you're going so fast. It gets swallowed up. We have to have it so that you're communicating even when you're not talking about the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what brought me to California was the job, the acting job for sure, and it's definitely a passion, and it's my life at this point.
Can't stay like I am. I can't stay in my fucking head anymore. If I don't get out of my fucking head, I'm gonna go crazy. I could eat glass. I could put my hand in a fire and watch a fucking thing burn. I still want to be out of this head. What am I gonna do? What? I can't close my eyes, man. I can't close my eyes and see the things that I see.
It's my life, but it's all of those good things mixed together, which makes it a career and your love, and your passion, which I think is so cool that you get to do what you can outside of the acting job to make the acting work, so that you can have the opportunity to stay and act and do what you love.
I have no control over how you'll be affected by the story, but I want you to believe the story.
And just with acting, that's all it is. It is a give and take, and it's about learning about that other person and making it like it's the first time you're hearing it.
In your tool chest, there is timing, there's pace, there's tempo, there is intonation, there's nuance, there's subtlety. These are all tools.
And if we talk in terms of, that was a 5, go to a 7, you know what I'm saying, and you do it. Yeah. It's just about boosting your energy. We talk, what is this? And what is this? Okay, you need this, she needs this.
I don't believe that either one of these people is a one-note actor. I know they got a lot of tools in their chest. It's just encouraging them to use all of the tools, right?
I've known Dennis since I was 19, and he has been a pivotal figure in my life in general, and possibly the most important figure in my life as an actor, or as someone that tries to be a storyteller in different ways. He was someone that took this 19-year-old kid who couldn't get out of his head and helped me realize how I could get into a more emotional space with what I do as an actor or as a writer.
And now, as I move forward, I think of him really as, he's definitely our director, but he's also like this father figure.
As an experience, this has benefited me probably more than it benefits them, because they are so coachable. I've measured myself. I don't want to overstep my bounds as a director. I don't want to micromanage, but as I told them earlier, when I watch them, I feel like I'm an expectant father, and my nerves are like in full effect. I get that excited for them.
He really has changed me. I sat in the room with him yesterday. We were talking about just like personal things and how it's really affected our craft, and how he just relates, and how he can take those things from your life and implicate them into your art, and he understands. And if you're at a point in your craft, like what we're working on right now, he's like, just calm down, slow it down, you're gonna be good. He's patting you on the back all the time, giving you everything you need. He feeds you whatever you want. He's a provider, and that's what he is. And he makes shit happen. That's really what Dennis does. He really just makes shit happen.
He's a dear friend. He's family, we like to call it. He's friend and he's family. And I think he is a very gifted person. I think that his experiences in his life and the way that has colored his perspective on things makes him a huge asset in any sort of like storytelling capacity as a director or anything, or as an actor, as a writer. He does it all. And just have tremendous respect for him and love.